Alrighty, so I just wanted to sort of go over this new character and sort of voice opinions and tell you not to summon before the banner goes live and everything. I was kind of wanting to stay up and do summons as soon as the banner went live, but I think I'm going to wait until in the morning whenever I wake up, which is not really the morning. It'll probably be like 12 to 1 p.m. my time, which is the East Coast Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know, I just figured that it might be a little better that way. People, might be able to actually come by and hang out. Sometimes whenever we do it in the middle of the night, it's toss up. I don't know, either way. It's not super hype, so I'm not super worried about doing it. It's he's probably the contender at the moment for the worst unit in the game. So if that tells you anything on whether or not you should summon, I don't know what else to tell you. He is really rough around the edges. I was pretty excited for him because his passive works in the sub slot, and we really don't have a whole lot of great sub slot units, so that was the one redeeming quality about him that I was super hype about. But everything about this character is bad, unfortunately. The increase that he gets is okay. We'll talk about it a little bit. So he is a blue unit. He's the one missing SSR Meliodas that we don't have so far, but obviously we're getting him. And he is, I don't know what the whole theme around him being champion Meliodas is. It's almost like he's a fighter, which is cool, I guess. I mean, honestly, his outfits really don't look bad. I think that's probably the best part about him. But he has a Sever card, which is 3 times crit chance, and so I've never really been a huge fan of Sever, especially as time goes on and characters get more and more power crept. A lot of the newer characters have a ton of crit resistance, a ton of crit defense, and stuff like that. And unfortunately, the biggest thing about this character is whenever Ragnarok Bond came out, they buffed the Brawler Bond units, and they did not do that with this unit when he came out. Hopefully, they'll do that sometime in the near future, so that way he's actually usable. If they're literally just going to wait until this banner goes away to buff him, it's going to be a super scummy move. I could definitely see them doing that for whatever reason, but at the moment the character has nothing going for it. His stats are insanely bad. His crit chance is 30. He just really doesn't have a whole lot going for him at all. These are all just really old, outdated stats. He's even with this 3 times Sever card, I've seen gameplay, he still can't hit crits with this because of how just old and outdated this unit sort of is, which is insane because he's coming out today. He does have this card, which I think is a huge misstep. I think they should have just buffed it to where it removes buffs on level 1 and level 2. It's not hard. There's characters who have better buff cards than this. If you take Blue Derriere, for example, Blue Derriere can remove buffs at level 1 and level 2, and then she removes stances at level 3 as well. So I think that would have been a much better version of this card to give him. Not sure why they chose this one. This is the old, worse, outdated one, which is awful. He has the same ult, of course, as the old Meliodas's, and then his passive at the start of the ally's turn increases the basic stats of all allies with less than 2 skills. I think it's 2 or less skills by 20%. So it works a lot like Nanashi's passive does, but this was the one thing that I was excited for because it's 3 buffs, 1 to HP, 1 to defense, and 1 to attack. But they decided to make these gray buffs instead of blue buffs. So amplifying characters do not get a bonus from this at all, which is very just why? I don't know. Very, very weird. Not sure what the point of this character is at all. I'm not sure if they have something up their sleeve. Obviously, at this point, we do know that there is going to be a new demonic beast battle announced in the next update. They're doing a live stream for that in roughly like 30-ish hours. And so unless he's just like a sleeper unit that's going to be insane for that, or I could see him maybe being a halfway decent backline unit for the goddess team at the moment, because they're pretty tanky and such, and they don't really have a great backline unit. 20% basic stats isn't crazy. The fact that it already has this like dumb sort of like stipulation to it where if you pull more than 2 cards, if you get lucky with one character, they don't get the buff. I don't know, that's really just, it seems very old and outdated at this point. Like 20% basic stats is good and all, but it's not that good to where you're like, oh wow, we need to put some sort of drawback on that. And even if I was really hoping he would be somewhat halfway decent, but his CC is terrible because of all of his stats and stuff like that. He's just really bad. So even if he's going to bring your team down, trying to use him in the back line because his CC's so low, and that's with it. Like I've seen his CC with like maxed out cosmetics level 100, blah blah blah, and he's just he's just so bad. I don't know, maybe we're supposed to be getting the demonic beast battle. Maybe this base Meliodas will get a holy relic, and the base Meliodas holy relic will help a lot, maybe, question mark. But until then, this unit is absolutely terrible. So I am going to summon, just because I don't want this to be another situation where Ragnarok Bond was really good after his banner went away, after a little bit more testing and people sort of messing around with him. But at the time, people were like, don't summon, he's bad. And I bought into it. I didn't summon for him. I said, hey, I'll save my gems, but I should have went for him, because now I can't pull him, and it's kind of annoying because I really do want him as a backline unit. So either way, just letting you know, not a good unit. Really not happy about this one, but I'm gonna grab a copy just in case. But that's pretty much it. So I recommend that if you're a free-to-play player, or low spender or whatever, you don't have a whole lot of diamonds at the moment, because we just literally got out of a festival. I mean, technically it's still going on because we're getting pushed a week ahead for JP and stuff like that, to help catch us up a little bit. I recommend saving. So that's pretty much it. Either way, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not going to have this go on any longer. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't already. I will see you guys in the next one.